Good evening, everybody. First of all, I'd like to welcome you to this annual NATECLA conference. I thought I'd just begin by introducing myself and my co-chair, in case you don't know us. My name's Judith Kirsh, and I've been a member of NATECLA for a very, very long time, probably more than 20 years, I think. And I'm currently the co-chair, as you know, and this is my other co-chair. It's Diana, do you want to? Diana Tremaine, who is absolutely exhausted because she has done an amazing thing today. She has cycled in this appalling weather as a sponsored cycle ride to raise funds for the Ruth Hayman Trust, something like over 50 miles, I think. So it's a tremendous achievement. So if she falls asleep while I'm talking, you'll know why. Yes, you can still sponsor her. And the other two people I'd like to introduce are Paul Sceeny from City and Guilds, who is our primary sponsor for the conference, and a very, very warm welcome, I'll introduce properly later, Marina Levitska. It's lovely to see so many familiar faces, and obviously there are some new faces. I just wonder if you could put your hand up if this is the first time you've been to a NATECLA. So we have a lot of new timers. Well, an extra special welcome. It's really lovely to see so many new people. Okay, I'm not going to speak for very long, just really to welcome everybody and just to run through a few things. As you know, the theme for this annual conference is the mystery and magic of language. And we chose that theme apart from the lovely alliteration of mystery and magic. It's also the idea that, you know, the last few years have been really tough in all sorts of ways with ESOL. They continue to be really tough. So we thought, let's get away from the doom and gloom and think of the positive things and language and what we're all here and what we're all doing, which is to help promote English and language. And we all love language, otherwise we wouldn't be here. So we thought this was a really good theme. You know, the idea of mystery, that something's difficult or impossible to understand. And in many ways, you can't understand language easily. No one knows where it came from or how it originated. So there is that idea of mystery about language. And the idea of magic, the quality of being beautiful or delightful in a rather sort of unusual and different way. So we felt all of that sums up what language means to us, and it would be a good theme. And throughout the weekends, we've got workshops on a whole range of themes around language. And we have workshops ranging from very practical skills-type workshops about teaching pronunciation, reading, listening, speaking skills. We have other workshops to do with very practical issues of delivery and funding and perhaps not such exciting themes such as inspection. And then we have reports on research, like the NIACE research. So we have a huge range of very, very varied workshops and workshop leaders. So I think we have a really exciting weekend, and I hope everyone's going to really enjoy it. I know I will. The workshop lists are on the doors of the actual rooms. The workshops will all take place. The rooms are all on the ground floor, just off of the resources and exhibition area. If you haven't already put your name on a list, then please go down there after this welcome session and find one of the workshops you would like to attend and put your name on that list. Right, what else do I need to say? Right, yes, the sponsors. So our main sponsor, as I've said, is City and Guilds. We also are very grateful to the British Council, ESB, Pearson, Learning Unlimited, Cambridge ESOL, and Trinity College London, who have all sponsored us yet again. So I think that's, you know, a huge thank you to them as well. The first test, of course, was finding this lecture theatre. a few other things that we have some throughout the conference. If you have any problems or questions, there will be a rep available apparently throughout the conference in the glass atrium. Not sure where the glass atrium is, but in the exhibition centre, yes. We're also having again this year the Voice of the Conference. Those of you who were here a couple of years ago may remember. The Voice of the Conference is an opportunity for you to engage in discussion and exchange ideas on certain topics. And the way we do this is through having a number of tables which have been set up in the area on the left immediately before the bar and restaurant on the ground floor. So there are some tables where you can engage in discussion, I say, around the topics of learner qualifications, the citizenship regulations and the language requirements for settlement, and teacher training qualifications. So if you want to express your views, discuss, make points around those topics, there are facilitators on each of those tables, and this will be happening from lunchtime tomorrow, all through lunch, and after the AGM tomorrow afternoon, so between 5 and 6, or at other times when there's sort of free time, but it will be mainly tomorrow. So, you know, please go along to those tables and join in the discussions, and any points that you want to make which relate to the Action for ESOL manifesto, which is also around those themes, that would also be useful. Another thing we have this year which is new is a research corner. That's going to be happening on the mezzanine level, so not far from here, in the space outside this lecture theatre. And it's going to be organised by Elaine Williamson and Sheila MacDonald. I don't think Elaine's here yet. Is Sheila MacDonald? Ah, right. So you'll be setting up. Right, and it's going to be all around research that's going on to ESOL, and I think your own research as well. Yes, yes. So that's something new for this year. Another thing which is new, very innovative, is a video booth organised by the British Council. The British Council, again, has been very helpful in sponsoring a lot of things for NATECLA, various things. And the video booth is part, I think, of the ESOL Nexus project, which you will be hearing a lot more about during this conference. The video booth is going to be set up, I'm not sure where. The mezzanine level. Yeah, and the idea is that all of you at some point in the conference will pop into the booth and talk about your favourite or a really good an activity for teaching ESOL that you particularly like, just for a couple of minutes. And all the video clips will be put together, edited, and will eventually be on the British Council ESOL Nexus website. So you'll be getting more information, but that's a new idea for this year. So it'll be really interesting to see your idea, your views. And the ESOL Nexus project, Dot and Melissa will be giving an update tomorrow afternoon at 1:45 here in this lecture theatre. So there is an update on what's happening and also an awards reception sponsored by the British Council. So that's their big sponsored event tomorrow. So please do come along tomorrow after lunch here to find out what's happening around the Nexus project and the resources that are being developed for teachers and learners of ESOL. The awards reception, that again is something new. We are making 2 awards. We emailed out to members a few weeks ago about what was happening. I'm really pleased to say we've had several brilliant nominations. It's going to be very, very difficult to choose. It's for a teacher who's made a very positive contribution to their department and a highly regarded ESOL or community language teacher who's leaving the profession after a long time. Another thing that's happening tomorrow afternoon at 4:15 here is the NATECLA AGM. And again, you're all very welcome. Please come. Tomorrow evening, there is a Ruth Hayman Trust quiz, and there's something else happening that I can't pronounce, organised by the Northwest Branch. Cayley. Right. Organised by... So there's two... So there's a choice. I don't know if it's a choice or they're happening one after the other. I'm not 100% sure. But there are two things happening tomorrow evening. And then there's a film as well as another option. So there are quite a few things. The films tonight, after our welcome here, is A Hard Day's Night. And tomorrow night, it's Educating Rita. So for those of you that don't want to sit in the bar or go to bed, then, please come and watch the film. One thing I do have to say, which is rather unfortunate, is Bill Hallahan, the civil servant, the senior civil servant from the Department for Business, Innovation and Skills, who was due to come and speak. Unfortunately, he is not able to come. He's actually leaving his post. He's retiring, taking early retirement. So I spoke to him on Monday, and he sends his regrets and apologies, but he is not going to be coming. So instead of that, you have more time for the voice of the conference, browsing the resources exhibition, which will be on all through the conference. And I think that's about all I have to say, really. I'm going to now just hand over to Paul Sceeny, just to say a few words, and then I'll welcome Marina.
Thank you, Judith, and good evening. Welcome, everybody. I'm delighted that we were invited to sponsor this year's conference, and I'm even more delighted that we were able to accept that invitation to sponsor this year's conference. I think we've got actually a fantastic agenda this weekend, although I was looking forward to quizzing Bill tomorrow. It's a pity that he's not going to be here, given the number of things going on within the sort of qualification landscape and that area at the moment. What I was going to say is I think it's good that the theme of this year's conference is talking positively about language and not about things that are going wrong or things that we're finding difficult or depressing subjects like funding. In a way, we're all here because we care about our learners. We all care about language as a thing that fascinates us all and a thing that makes people's lives more enriched by having a better understanding of language. So it's good that we're here to sort of talk about those things. No doubt we'll get to talk about the things that get in the way of that as well over the course of the weekend, but it's nice to be able to talk positively about that as well. Whilst we're on the subject of the qualifications, however, I did want to sort of make one quick announcement because I think it's something that has certainly exercised us over the last 3 to 4 months, and I think a number of you as well. I think as most people are aware, the current ESOL Skills for Life qualifications are up for review this August, and a few months ago, Ofqual and BIS both announced that they were happy for the qualifications to be extended for another 12 months whilst Ofqual carries out a more detailed review. And we, at that point, said, yep, fine, OK, we'll do that. Then there was then a subsequent announcement and said, oh, by the way, if you have any qualifications that use the national tests, you can't extend those. You can develop something new to replace that. We may accept it, we may not, but you can put that forward. So we've been in sort of limbo for the last 3 to 4 months, trying to sort of talk to Ofqual about that, trying to sort of say, what can we do? Saying, look, actually, there are providers out there saying, what are we doing from September? Can we offer level 2 or not? Are we going to have to do functional skills? Or are there other options we can look at? We finally got a breakthrough on that yesterday. We got a letter through from Ofqual, which we will be issuing a kind of an update and a sort of published version of that early next week, that basically says that they are happy for us to extend for another 12 months the current ESOL Skills for Life Level 1, Level 2 qualifications that use the national test. So they will now... Thought that would get a round of applause. They will now be available until September next year. The only slight thing that they've added is that they don't want us to extend the last certification date. So they will be available for another year and we'll be able to accept registrations up until that point, and other awarding organisations likewise will be able to do so, but that it will not be possible to claim certification after August 2014. So, but by that time we may well have a new set of qualifications that will have come along, and there may well be all sorts of other questions that get resolved. So I thought it was good to kind of get that little bit of good news out of the way before we we start the evening.